People, so some of the fighters that give Canelo problems, all right, let's talk about it. Fighters that give Canelo problems are going to be fighters that actually fight, that have a good inside game. If they have a good all around game, pretty much, excuse me, they give Canelo problems. All right. Um, so if you're looking at the light heavyweight division, some of the fighters that give Canelo problems is going to be like guys like Badu Jack, right? Out of Beta BF. He's strong. He's an inside, mid-range to inside fighter. He'll give him some problems. Definitely, Beta BF is very strong physically. His strength is going to be an issue. Um, I like Canelo versus Dimitri View, though. I would like to see that one too. Because I like Bebo. That's all. Good boxers with all-round game. So you're talking about guys like Billy Joe Saunders, Demetrius Andrade, Caleb Plant, those kinds of fighters. Those kinds of fighters giving problems. Outboxers, to some degree. So Jamal Charlo, for example, he moves around the ring a little bit. Might give him some problems, might not give him problems. Because remember, Canelo slick. He can get past the jab. I've been telling y'all guys this since 2014 that he gets past the jab, but y'all never listen to me. Who else gives him problems out there? There are a couple of them. You got Gilberto Ramirez, big tall guy, likes to fight on the inside. Guys who can go to your body, go to the inside, can fight on the inside. They're gonna give him a little bit of problems because inside fighting, which is a lost art, you can actually impose your strength. You got to use your strength inside to get into position. And why these guys will be effective is because because they're in a higher weight class, they can use their strength against Canelo, and they could physically move him around. But like a lot of guys have been saying, Sergio is not known for it. You have to rough up the guy on the inside. You have to rough him up on the inside. You know, a smaller guy, you have to use your physical strength against a smaller guy and rough him up on the inside. But if you're very skilled, like Mayweather versus Marquez, for example, Mayweather didn't use his strength against Marquez. He didn't physically rough him up. He just outboxed him. But generally speaking, if you're the bigger guy, you see what Mayweather did to Pacquiao in the clinch. He banged to the body, physically let him know, I'm physically stronger than you. Kovalev is not. I don't think he's physically stronger than Canelo. I think he's weak. I don't think he's a big dude, but I don't think he's physically strong. Girther than Canelo. That's the difference. So when Canelo starts landing to the body on him, which he will, it's going to debilitate him very quickly. It'll be like chopping down a fucking tree. You're going to chop him down. They're saying Canelo might stop him late. I see Canelo stopping him. Yeah, in the second half of the fight, he's going to stop him, but I see him chopping him down. And he's going to do it early. He's going to do it early. If Kovalev doesn't have what it takes to keep Canelo on the outside, he's going to have the little tricks up his sleeve and try and keep Canelo out on the outside when Canelo try to make the move to the inside. But there's several ways to make a move to the inside, which Kovalev will not have an answer for. I'm just saying. Like I said before, you saw what Canelo did to Danny Jacobs. And shit, if that's an indicator of what he could do to Kovalev, because Jacob much more skilled than Kovalev, much quicker than Kovalev, much better footwork than Kovalev. So if that's an indication of what he could do to Kovalev, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be brutal. And Canelo gets to the inside. He's going to get to the inside early in the fight. The question is, will he exploit that initially, or will he be testing it out, just testing the waters to see how far he can go? Can I go here? Can I do this? You're gonna just check out different things first, and then he's just gonna put the heat on Kovalev. I don't know, but I'm just saying, this is like one of them fights where it's not going to end nice. It's going to be brutal. It's not going to end nice. You know, everybody's talking about Kovalev jab and his jab and his jab. Look, man, Canelo don't keep his head down center line. You know, Anthony Odd, he was doing his thing. You know, had a little bit of excessive head movement. Canelo's a lot more subtle than that. Canelo come down certain lines. You know, his head movement is much better. His upper body movement is much better. You know, his footwork is much better than Anthony Yard's. You know, he's much more seasoned. He's faced a lot of top tier guys. He's seen Kovalev a couple times in his whole entire career. Just up to recently, he saw Kovalev against his last fight, which was Danny Jacobs. I mean, much better skilled fighter than Kovalev. Maybe not as much power, but because Kovalev's in a bigger weight class. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know. They have the same knockout ratio. Okay. You know, Danny Jacobs thought he was going to stop Canelo. That shit never happened. So, I mean. So when you're talking about a fighter that could beat Canelo, it's got to be somebody that has all-around game. You know, Danny Jacobs was a guy that could have beaten Canelo because Danny Jacobs had it all. And I was glad that Canelo took that fight. Even though I favored Canelo to win, I really didn't know how that fight was going to turn out. And it turned out that Canelo was even better than I even thought. Danny Jacobs couldn't really lay a glove on Canelo for almost the entire fight. So if Danny Jacobs can't fucking lay a glove on Canelo, and he's much better fighter than Kovalev, how the fuck is Kovalev going to land a glove on Canelo? That's why I don't understand. I don't understand what you guys talking about. Canelo be landing gloves on Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs, it's not easy to hit Danny Jacobs clean because he roll punches and shit. And Canelo's still landing clean shots on Danny Jacobs. How is that possible? All right? So I don't know what y'all think. I don't know where y'all come from. Canelo needs worthy opposition. The opposition, if he goes back down to 160, he can handle it at 160. Demetrius Andrade, that's the dude. You know, that's the dude that really Canelo need to face. I'm not really hot up on Charlo. I'll be honest with y'all. Charlo be talking, but his actions, his fights, you know, his fights don't show me the same thing he talking. You know, he gonna have a real fucking easy fight this time. Okay, that's he's getting easier and easier fights, right? Dudes who shouldn't be hanging with him are hanging with him. Okay, people think Matt Korobov beat Charlo. I have to go rewatch that fight to tell you what I think. But at the end of the day, Matt Korobov fought Andy Lee for the championship. So, you know, he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He's fought some good names, you know. So, I mean, if Jamal Charlo ain't all that, because he ain't showing me shit yet. Okay? Demetrius Andrade, at least he look a little bit better. I would prefer for Canelo to face Demetrius Andrade, to be honest with you. That's a better fighter, a better boxer at 160. Derevyanchenko, he deserves a shot as well. You know, Canelo versus Derevyanchenko, Canelo versus Andrade. All right? Those are the best that are left at 160. Charlo, I'm still not enthused about Charlo. Y'all got to understand. Y'all be like, oh, he should face Charlo. I'm like, what the fuck? I know he was his mandatory, but Charlo is the one, he the weakest link in all of them. All right? Derevyanchenko can fight on the inside. He's an inside fighter. I would love to see that because Derevyanchenko can fight on the inside. All right? Demetrius Andrade can do it all. Jamal Charlo, we all know that's not his thing. Inside fighting is not his thing. He just one of them other standard motherfucking jab dudes. And his jab isn't going to do shit against Canelo. Okay? So why would I want to see that? I know Canelo could beat him. All right? Like, and easily. Comprehensive, like unanimous decision kind of win kind of thing. I don't need to see that. But, hey, if that's what they want, give the guy what he wants. But he's going to get beat. You know, he's big and strong, but that don't mean shit. Right? So, you know, everybody be pushing Charlo versus Canelo. Okay, fine. Let's see it. Canelo going to beat him. He going to beat him. He going to make him look stupid and going to beat him. All right? And he going to suffer his first loss. Okay? We saw we saw Tony Harrison outbox Jamel Charlo. And if Jamel Charlo makes no changes, Tony Harrison's going to repeat it again and more comprehensively the second time. He's going to beat him even more clearly the second time. Okay? So, styles make fights, and Jamel Charlo is a guy that could box. If he goes back to his boxing, he has a chance. But Jamal Charlo, I mean, his thing is his jab. That's his thing. He live and die by his jab. That's not good enough. Okay? So, now, you ask me, Demetrius Andrade versus Jamel Charlo, who would win? Demetrius Andrade would win. All right? Demetrius Andrade would beat Jamal Charlo. Okay? Jamal Charlo is the stronger of the two, but Andrade would beat him. Billy Joe Saunders would beat Jamal Charlo. All right? Billy Joe Saunders versus Demetrius Andrade. Now, that's a 50-50 fight. I don't know who would win. I don't know who would win. Honestly, I don't know. That'd be a good fight to see. So, those are the remaining guys that Canelo need to clean up. All right? At 160, we were talking about Jamal Charlo, Derevyanchenko's in the equation, and Demetrius Andrade. Quite frankly, if he beats Demetrius Andrade or face and beat Demetrius Andrade, he don't need to face them other two until some other weight class. All right? At 168, we're talking about Billy Joe Saunders. So I'm going to finish business with him. And then we got all kinds of people. We got Chris Eubank Jr. We got Caleb Plant. We got David Benavidez, Callum Smith. Danny Jacobs is still up there. If you want to rematch Danny Jacobs, you got, a bunch of people. And then at 175, you got even more guys. You got Bivol, you got BF, you got Vorzdik, you got Battlejack, you got Gilberto Ramirez, you got what's the kid's name? The guy who beat Battlejack. Him. You got Ja Pascal. You got, Sullivan Barrera. You got the other Cuban kid. I can't remember what his name is. You got Elita Alvarez. You got a ton of people up there. All right, and they all names and they do things. So, and the light heavyweight division is alive. I think it's one of the most lively divisions out there. But Canelo just need to clean up. He only got at middleweight right now. He got two more names, okay, that he need to clean up. Charlo and Demetrius Andrade, and if you want to, Derevyanchenko, right? You got two more names. That's it. Or two or three more names. He already faced four guys. Okay, he faced. It's four or three. I think it's three. He faced Cotto, Jacobs, and Triple G. He had 4 fights. All right, Cotto, Jacobs, Triple G. He also faced at 168. He faced Rocky Fielding, and he faced Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Okay, the only one that really we talk about is Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Yeah, he was weight drained. Gotcha. When they're looking at 175, he's about to jump into 175 and touch up Kovalov. He gonna come if he comes down to 168, which I advise him to do. Go back down to 168 first, and then go down to 160 if you can make 160. But gradually come down instead of going all the way back down to 160. Try to make weight gradually coming back down. So I would say go back down to 168. Face a Callum Smith. That'll be a good fight for him because Callum Smith would be like a fresher, sharper version of Kovalov or David Benavidez. Either one. Those guys, the younger, the fresher, the sharper. You face them, you beat them, and then you come back down to 160 if Demetrius Andrade's still down there. If we got still Jamal Charlo down there. If they move up to 168 already, then you face them at 168 if they got titles. If not, you're going to face a Billy Joe Saunders. That's an equivalent to Demetrius Andrade, in my opinion, 50-50. Face a Billy Joe Saunders. If you can beat him, then you could just stay at 168. You don't have to come back down to 160. Because all them guys at 160 probably will move up to 168 anyway. So you just face all of those guys off. Clear off whoever you want to clear off. Pick off who you want to pick off. But it would be a really nice thing if he could face, before his career is over, especially Demetrius Andrade, you know, or Jamal Charlo, because I really was rooting for him to face Demetrius Andrade. I thought it was the time for that. And he decided to go up 2 fucking weight classes and face Kovalev. And if he gets dusted by Kovalev or beaten by Kovalev, I'll laugh really hard. I would, man, I'll be so laughing. But it's highly unlikely that it happens. It's just way too unlikely. You know. Now, people saying, well, can Canelo handle Kovalev's power and all that? Yeah, of course he can handle his power, man. Listen, Canelo been sparring, he said, cruiserweights. He's been sparring 200-plus pound guys. So, yeah, of course, he's going to be able to handle Kovalev's power, okay? That's not going to be the issue. I mean, you talk about guys like Floyd Mayweather. You talk about guys like Manny Pacquiao. They prep for fights, man. They really prep for fights. And Canelo's not going to be any different. Now, I listen to some people saying, oh, he going to be using clenbuterol or drugs. He going to be drugged up. Motherfucker, he being so stringently VADA tested. He's VADA tested all fucking year round. Okay? All fucking year round. All right? And VADA don't play. So if he's cheating, how the fuck is he cheating? And then they talking about he bulking up and shit. No, fuck no. Motherfucker just don't have to cut weight. He's not bulking up. All right? Canelo don't need to bulk up for this fight. He's not trying to bulk up. He's a smart guy. He has a smart team. They're not trying to bulk up. They're just trying to come in, or they usually come in. But this time, Canelo been fighting at 173, 174, 175, 176, 177 pounds. He been fighting at that every fight night. Y'all talking about. All right? He makes it on the scale. His problem has always been trying to cut the weight on the scale. He don't have to cut no damn weight. So he's going to have much more energy. He going to come in the same weight he usually come in a fight. He going to have more energy, more zip, more skip, more pizzazz. He going to have more endurance, everything. He going to have more everything, right? You look at him when he faced Danny Jacobs. You look at him the second fight with Triple G. You look at him as he's gone up in weight, his stamina has actually gotten better, right? In the first Triple G, and Canelo throws a lot of punches, and he does a lot of things, but he paces himself now. So, I mean, y'all talking about Canelo got stamina problems. Fucking Kovalev got stamina problems. Shit, and if you start hitting him to the body early enough, he's gonna have serious stamina problems before the 8th round. And you know, and people know that in the 7th, 8th round, he has stamina problems, and you know he fades. But it's also because the guys be doing body work. If you're doing your body work, sneaking in a body shot here, sneaking in a body shot there, you don't even have to. You don't have to be like tagging him up big time all the time. You just have to be sneaking in body shots all the time, chipping away at his body. And you crash him. You look at Anthony Yarde. He started chipping away at round 5, then started working it again around 6, 7, and then he really started crashing him in round 8, right? But you know he didn't do the wisest thing and pace himself and chip and crash him, but crash him sensibly. You know he put too much too much energy out. And he was talking about at the end of round 9. And round 9 he came out. He might not have thought he was tired, but he was fucking tired. Okay, he was delaying with his punches. He said round 10 was when he really felt it. But I think around 9 he was getting clipped with punches all the time because he was still trying to tee off on Kovalev. And you can't be going full tilt against this guy. You can't do that. You know you have to be smart. You got to box smart. You know Canelo gonna show you how it's done, buddy. You know he gonna get the job done, and then you will see how it's done. He gonna get him stopped. He gonna get him stopped. Right? He gonna stop Kovalev. He's a smaller guy than Anthony Yarde. All right. People talk about Andre Ward's a bigger guy than Canelo. Yes, he's physically a bigger guy than Canelo because he fought at 168. People are saying that Canelo's a 154 pounder. He fought at 154 pounds, and he could make 154. Not anymore. Not anymore. He said I can't go down to 154 anymore. But we knew Canelo was a smaller guy. Okay, he wasn't a middleweight. He grew into being a middleweight. Okay. Canelo started off at super lightweight. Okay, he started off at super lightweight his career. Of course, he was only 15 years of age at the time. So he grew into, junior middleweight. Okay, he started off as a super lightweight. He was 15, and then he moved up to welterweight. He spent a good part of his career at welterweight, actually longer than almost any other part of his career. And then he moved up to super welterweight. Okay, that's where he won his first world title. And after that, he moved up to middleweight. Super welterweight career spanned his welterweight career spanned 4 years. His super welterweight career spanned, I think it was, um, when did he move up? He moved up like 2009. Yeah, he's in 2012, 2013. I think he moved up somewhere. He moved up to middleweight in 2016, somewhere there. So we're talking about from 2009, 2010 to 2016, which is about 6 years. Okay, so 4 years as a welterweight, 6 years as a junior middleweight, and now he's at middleweight. He's been at middleweight now from since 2016, 2017, somewhere there, 2019. So about 2, 3 years now he's been at middleweight. Okay, and now he's gonna jump up to light heavyweight. So this guy, he's been doing some fantastic things. Fantastic things. A lot of people talk about how Shane Mosley, a welterweight, he pulling up these smaller guys to meet him. Well, he was at welterweight for 4 years, man, and y'all forget this shit. All right, so him fighting a welterweight like a Shane Mosley, like a Carlos Quintana, who was at welterweight and moved up to super welterweight. Like this kid, I forgot what his name is, right? He fought some guys who were super welterweights, and then they talk about how he fought this super lightweight, Rocky, the Riverside Rocky, faced him, Lopez, Josecito Lopez, and they talking about he was a super lightweight. Listen, Josecito Lopez went up to welterweight, and then he fought Canelo at super welterweight. But Josecito Lopez, we now see big, strong welterweight, right? He's making a name for himself, and the point being that, yes, Canelo was bigger than him when he faced him, but Canelo came up from super lightweight. Canelo fought at welterweight. And so it's not necessarily, say Josecito Lopez had beat Canelo, then what y'all would have said? Huh? So, I mean, come on now. Y'all got to be honest about things. Canelo's roundabout, he a little bit bigger than Miguel Cotto. He's a bigger dude than Miguel Cotto. But Cotto, again, started off at super lightweight and worked his way up to middleweight. Impressive. Cotto walk around 165, 160, 165 thereabouts, but he's still not really a full-fledged middleweight dude. Right? He's not a full-fledged middleweight. And he did what he did though. He did well. Canelo walk around 170, 172, 175, 180. And for people who don't understand, Kell Brook walk around 180. Kell Brook walk around 180. What's his name? Errol Spence walk around 180. That don't mean that they middleweights. You know what I'm saying? Just because you walk around 180, even now I'm hearing that Terrence Crawford walk around 177. These guys are just as big as Canelo. Canelo's around that weight. If you look at me, I'm 5'10". I walk around 175. Okay? That don't make me a big, fat dude. I'm big. No, I can fight 154. Troy King, he walk around 175, 173, and he's a super welterweight. So I'm just saying, just because somebody fight at 154 don't mean that they walk around at 154 or they fight at 154. On fight night, they blow up to 175, 173. This is not really a big issue because a lot of people don't know, it's water mass that you lose. You can lose as much as 25 pounds of water. So it's just really losing the water mass in your body. And sometimes that could be a very painful thing. You know what I'm saying? So, once again, if you're talking about opponents that could beat Canelo, it's got to be somebody with an all-around game. Somebody who can fight on the inside so that they can impose their size and strength on Canelo. Someone who has the boxing IQ to deal with a Canelo Alvarez. So all of those things you need to have. So I definitely think Battle Jack would have a great chance of beating Canelo. Just being that Battle Jack is really a 168 pounder like Andre Ward. Mike Alvarado TV says the type of fighter that beats Canelo more convincingly than even how Mayweather did without getting hit is a style like Mike Alvarado. Oh my God. Yeah. So if you're a bigger fighter, you got to impose your will or you got to rough up Canelo. You got to rough him up. You got to impose your will. You got to be a little bit dirty on him. That's going to be hard to do because he gets position on you on the inside as well. But I'm going to tell you, Battle Jack has a great chance of beating him. All right? Other BWF is strong as fuck. I think BWF would have a good chance of beating Canelo. Dimitri Bivol is a 168 pounder like Battle Jack, but the difference is he's not really an inside fighter. He a mid-range to outside fighter. So that'll be an interesting fight. It would be nice to watch because both guys are counter punchers. Canelo would have to initiate some of the stuff. But at the end of the day, I think Bivol doesn't have the skills like Canelo to really beat him. But hey, it'd be a good fight. I would love to see that. The guy who has the better chance of beating Canelo would be BWF. Strong, fights on the inside, fights mid-range. That's the kind of dude you want to have facing Canelo. He's strong as fuck, and he roughs you up on the inside. So that would be an interesting fight, in which he definitely would be stronger than Canelo. With respect to Badou Jack, that's another guy. He's not really a 175 pounder like Bivol. He's a 168 pounder, so that would make for an interesting fight against Canelo. Um, Definitely great on the inside. That's what Badou do. So I would love to see that fight. That would be a good matchup for Canelo. And Gilberto Ramirez, big, tall guy, but again, fights mostly on the inside. Canelo versus Ramirez would be a great fight. I have Canelo winning because, like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., I think he control him with the jab. But nonetheless, I would love to see that fight because, again, it's an inside fighter. And that's where you have the better chance of imposing your will, your strength, your size on Canelo on the inside if you know how to fight on the inside properly. But Canelo got he got a lot of things he does to make sure and deal with you on the inside and still keep you maybe mid-range, keep you a little bit off of him. So it would be an interesting fight, but I think Canelo would win that one. Against Badou Jack, though, Badou Jack got a lot of skill, and he knows how to get to the inside. That would be a very interesting fight, okay? That's one of the guys I think is a matchup where I think he could beat Canelo. Very skilled fighter. And Dimitri Bivol, though he's slow as fuck, but he's strong as fuck. So that would be interesting. Any other fighters that a 175 could beat Canelo? I don't know. There are a couple of them that I have to look at and analyze, but I think those are the two. Marcus Brown don't stand no fucking chance against Canelo. Not after his performance against Jean Pascal. He gets knocked out. Or knocked down. Knocked down. I can't say. He's vulnerable to certain shots. You know, he's vulnerable to certain shots. And that shit just don't fly with Canelo. Canelo will get him. He might knock him out. He's strong. I don't think he knocked him out, but he knocked him down at least once. Or maybe not. But he'd beat him. Yeah. 168 is a good division as well. And like I said, Billy Joe Saunders, that's going to be an interesting fight if he ever faced Canelo. Caleb Plant, definitely. I can't really say anybody else in the division at present. There are a number of other 168 pounders who are not world champions who will be good fights for Canelo. And definitely at 160, Demetrius Andrade. That's the dude, and Derevyanchenko. They give him problems. Them is the two. The way Marco Alvarado uses the shoulder roll is so fluid, I can't see Canelo or anybody landing much on Alvarado's shoulder roll in high guard defense. Provatnikov, who can't box, beat the shit out of Michael Alvarado and made the corner throw in the towel. No way, man. He ain't got no shoulder roll defense. You know that. Anyways, I'm gonna call it a day with that, but if you ask me the fighters who can beat Canelo, I think when I say can beat, they have a good chance of beating Canelo. Those are the fighters I think about. Fighters who either they're really good on the inside or they got all-round game. And definitely Saunders and Andrade stand out in the 168, 160 divisions. And also Caleb Plant. And I think that Charlo's kind of drifting off the side. Derevyanchenko is another guy that's interesting. I would like to see how Canelo would handle him. And then at 175, Badou Jack and Artur Beterbiev. Beterbiev, I think, would be the toughest fight of them because he's so strong. Even though I think Badou Jack actually might give him a tougher fight. Badou Jack, just the way how he positions his body and works the punches in, might be a tougher fight than actually Beterbiev. Beterbiev is kind of slow. Depends on his timing and shit. But he's beast strong though. But I think those will be the tougher fights for Canelo. From 160 to 175, you know. I would only want him to face Jamal Charlo because They got unfinished business in 154, just to clean out the division. Say, you know what, this man's the WBC champion. Let me just beat his ass and get it over with. But as to say that Mike Alvarado was going easy and using only 5% against Provodnikov, dude, you don't go easy getting your face bashed in and stopped. You don't go easy. What are you talking about? Nobody does that. This boxing. Unless he decided, oh, today I'm going to be a punching bag. You know, in boxing, it's about hit and not get hit. They had an interview with Canelo, and the reason Canelo's still lasted in the sport, in spite of fighting all these killers, all these heavy-handed punches, and the only most I think he ever got was like a black eye with Erislandy Aguilar, not like how Josh Taylor got his black eye, but you know, a swollen, puffy eye. Was because, you know, he was still getting caught with shots by Erislandy Aguilar early in the fight. Later on, it was a totally different picture, but early in the fight, he was getting hit. And that Canelo has gone since. That Canelo ain't getting hit like that, right? You saw what kind of defense this guy has. And he's going to be putting it on display. Kovalev, like I said, is going to look great early on in the fight until Canelo starts landing punches on him. And then it's going to go downhill from there. You know, I listened to one guy in the Mayweather Boxing channel, was listening to the people and their predictions. Most of it was resoundingly Canelo beating Kovalev, even stopping him. And one guy, he thought that Kovalev would win the fight. But I'm going to say this. That guy going to realize how wrong he is when he sees. You know, he for some reason, these guys are unbelievers. They think, they're always talking about Canelo not getting past the jab. Oh, he can't get past Gennady Golovkin's jab. That's what they said the first time. Gennady Golovkin couldn't really do shit with his jab against Canelo the first time, and the second time Canelo walked his ass down. The jab had nothing to do with it. The jab wasn't stopping Canelo from walking him down. And then Danny Jacobs had a hell of a jab. Danny Jacobs said he was going to stop Canelo, and that shit never happened. You know, how many times have we heard this? All right, how many times do we have to see this? How many times do we have to see that Canelo keeps on handling guys with great jabs? Miguel Cotto got like one of the greatest jabs out there. All right, he couldn't put two jabs together on Canelo. Okay, he couldn't get his power shots off on Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Kovalev has a great jab, just like all the other jabbers out there. But at the end of the day, as great as his jab is, you got to land that jab. You got to get that jab to consistently. Listen to what I'm saying. You have to get the jab to consistently land against Canelo. Not just land, but consistently land. Okay? And he's going to try and land the jab to Canelo's chest. He's going to go to the head, the chest, the body. He's going to try and land on the arms and shit. It don't mean shit. The reason that Buddy McGirt's saying we got to just touch him everywhere is because Buddy McGirt understands this guy's slippery as fuck. All right? He's slippery. You thought Anthony Yard was slippery. This guy real slippery. Okay? So, Canelo going to stand right in front of Kovalev. He's going to be right in front of his face. Almost a la James Toney style. Kovalev going to be throwing jabs like a motherfucker. He's going to be throwing rights and hitting nothing but fucking ear. And he's going to be, that going to just pull energy out of him too. Because Kovalev's not used to missing like that. He gonna be missing like a motherfucker. Okay? He going to be missing like a motherfucker. He going to be huffing and puffing. And the thing about it is, when he connects with Canelo, it's going to be thudding. It's going to be like thudding. It's going to be hard and thudding shots. You know, crisp, clean, thudding. He's going to look real good, like I said before. But he's going to be hitting air. He's going to be hitting air. You know, he's going to look real good. Sometimes you all think he tagged Canelo there. Canelo done ride the shot. He done, you know, rotated his body a certain way to take the steam off the shot completely. But y'all going to think he landed a crisp shot on Canelo. And we're going to just be laughing. Canelo just be watching at him and just keep on moving, right? Y'all don't understand this shit. This is boxing. There's a science to this shit. Okay? It's not just going there and okay, Kovalev's a great boxer. He going to outbox Canelo. Fuck out of here. Triple G couldn't outbox Canelo. Okay? Canelo made him look like an ass. And everybody said Triple G, he has superior skills to Canelo. He going to outbox Canelo. Now everybody telling us Sergio Kovalev got superior. But all of a sudden, everybody's saying, oh, but the greater boxer is Canelo. Oh, y'all now realize that shit? Y'all realize now that Canelo is the greater boxer of the two? If he's the greater boxer of the two, then he will beat Kovalev. That's what you're basically saying. But you don't want to say it. Okay? Kovalev got a great jab. So what? Welcome to the club. Almost everybody that is top tier, top class that Canelo has faced has a great jab. But here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. I'm going to ask y'all to go back and watch Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo. How much times did Floyd use his jab against Canelo? How many times did Canelo use his jab against Floyd? That's what I'm going to ask y'all. Oh, you thought Floyd was a jabber, huh? Think about what I'm saying. How many times did Floyd use his jab against Canelo? That's to tell you guys what you need to know. Fucking jab don't do shit to Canelo. You need to do something else. Yeah, it's good to have a good jab, okay? But at the end of the day, he trained to deal with your fucking jab. He's trained to deal with neutralizing your jab. Floyd has trained to neutralize your jab. Pacquiao's trained to neutralize your jab. You can use your jab how much you want to use your jab. Those motherfuckers gonna get past it. They're gonna get past your jab and they're gonna do what they do. They're gonna do what they do. That jab didn't stop Canelo from landing the majority of power punches on Gennady Golovkin in 2 fucking fights. 2 consecutive fucking fights. He landed the majority of power punches on Gennady Golovkin. Now, how the fuck do we make sense of that? Usually the guy with a jab, a superior jab, who's really doing stuff with his effective jab, keeps the power punches of the other fighter down. Okay? You don't be outlanding somebody in power punches, man. You don't be doing that shit. So, at the end of the day, the jab don't do shit to Canelo. Okay? Canelo landed the majority of power punches against Erislandy Lara, against Danny Jacobs, against Triple G, against Miguel Cotto, and the list goes on and on and on. Austin Trout, all of these guys are great jabbers. Okay? It don't mean shit. And we talking about jabbing in the southpaw stance and the orthodox stance. How many times I got to tell people, this jab shit don't mean shit if you don't know what to do with your jab. And it's not just fucking footwork. You got to have defense, motherfucker. If this motherfucker gets on the inside, you better have defense on the inside. You better have some kind of fucking inside game. You got to have it. Danny Jacobs had to resort to the inside game because it became an inside fight. Erislandy Lara had to run for his life, and Canelo hit him with a body shot, and the motherfucker, they said he slipped in the corner. No, it was the body shot that drained him, and that's why he fell. But he slipped in the corner. Fuck out of here. Hit him with a headshot, bust his eye open. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. From the 4th round onwards, the fight changed. Erislandy Lara was on his bicycle and still getting tagged up. He was still getting fucked up. Okay? That was a smaller Canelo, too. Not a smart Canelo. He learned a lesson from that fight. Okay? Danny Jacobs now, what did Danny Jacobs want to say? He said he will knock out Canelo. What are you going to say now? Okay? Kovalev ain't even talking about knocking out Canelo because he know that shit ain't going to happen. He know he can't load up on his punches either because Canelo going to tag his ass up if he load up. So he has to do untelegraphed movements. He know that shit. Buddy McGirt knows that shit. Okay? He know he had to throw an untelegraphed jab. And he got to mask it. He got to camouflage. He got to feint the right, go with the jab. Sometimes he got to come with the left. He going to have to pump his jab like a motherfucker. While Canelo time his ass. He going to just be timing him, and then tagging his ass up. Canelo going to time him. Everything, you see, all that Buddy McGirt be saying, it sound good, you know, it really sound really good and everything. But see, there's a combination of things you got to do in boxing. It's not just throw the jab, change levels. You know, boxing a fluid thing. And one of the things in boxing y'all got to learn about is rhythm. Rhythm. You can't get somebody's timing if you don't understand their fucking rhythm. And the first thing Kovalev going to have to find out, I'll try and figure out, is Canelo's rhythm. If he just come in there pumping the jab, and Canelo have a look at him 2-3 times. I'm giving Buddy McGirt as much as I can because there ain't nothing they can do around. But you going to have to deal with the boxer's rhythm, okay? Canelo is one of the trickiest motherfuckers when it comes to rhythm. Ask Danny Jacobs. He said, oh, man, the fucking difficult thing about him, he's quick like as fuck, and then on top of that, his rhythm, man, it's just getting used to his fucking rhythm. Danny Jacobs a real smart fighter. Now, Buddy McGirt say Kovalev gonna try and mirror everything that Canelo do. That you can't do that shit. Buddy, you know this guy can't fight on the inside. How you gonna mirror that shit? You know Canelo gonna slide to the inside. Now, if the motherfucker starts sliding to the inside in the first round, this fight ain't going but 3 rounds. If this motherfucker starts sliding to the inside and get into the inside of Kovalev within fucking 1 round, this fight ain't going very far. All right? But I don't think Canelo gonna do that. You can just be watching him, circling him, checking him out, trying to figure out what's going on, what's the deal. You know, Kovalev better be aggressive right there. He better start come up to the jump, try and be first, because you know Canelo gonna be assessing his ass, watching what he do, and he gonna provoke certain responses out of Kovalev. He gonna watch him, check him, you know, because Canelo's the one doing the fucking interview in this fight. He gonna be interviewing Kovalev. He coming up. It sounds funny as fuck, but he coming up to Kovalev's weight to test Kovalev. And Kovalev is like, this my weight class, motherfucker. What the fuck you think you are? You think you just roll up in here and do what you want? That's how Kovalev gonna be. Right? Because Kovalev gonna look at Canelo like, man, you a 175 pounder. What the fuck you think? The max you is 175. We walk around like 190, 200 pounds. What the fuck you think? You think you can just manhandle us? Okay? And Canelo will just be watching them like, well, show me what you got, motherfucker. Show me what you got. Because I got something for your ass. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to go down. Now, people saying, Canelo don't knock out flies. He don't knock out nobody. Okay, we will see. You see, if this fight become an inside fight, it's over. Forget it. But if this fight is, and it's going to be an inside fight, I'm going to tell you that right now. It's going to be a fight on the inside. Okay? Kovalev won't try to make it an outside fight, but Canelo's going to get past his defense. And then once he gets on the inside, he's going to work him. You know? And Kovalev going to have to clinch. He's going to have to hold. Now, you got to understand something. Andre Ward was trying to figure out what Kovalev's weakness was. Andre Ward didn't know what he was going into facing Sergey Kovalev the first time. He didn't know he had to go work the body. You know, and when he started, you know, he came off, he was going to counter right Kovalev, he got caught. Okay? Out of position. Kovalev tricked him into doing that, and that's kudos to Kovalev. But Andre Ward realized, I got to get on the inside of this dude. I'm going to get caught with a couple jabs, but I'm going to get to the inside of him. So Andre Ward realized that's what he needed to do. And in doing so, he realized how soft Kovalev was to the body. And when I say soft to the body, I don't mean that, you know, if you touch him, he's going to go down. That's not what I'm saying. You work the body, work the body, work the body, and eventually they fold. So that's what's going to happen in this fight. The fight is the fact that Kovalev, big, strong guy, yeah, it looks so, until you start touching him to the body, here and there, touching him to the body. Keep on working that body. You know, one of the things Anthony Yarde was doing was sticking Kovalev to the body. You give him the jab to the pit. All right, very effective shot. Kovalev will try to do that against Canelo, and Canelo will try and do that against Kovalev. All right, and that shot alone, Kovalev gonna try and stab him to the pit, stab him to the chest. He gonna try and do that to suck some life out of Canelo. And Kovalev has heavy hands, so even if he's just trying to just do the normal thing in box, he gonna hurt you. So that's what Kovalev's gonna try and do. You know what I'm saying? But and like I said before, he could change levels. You know, he could try and turn Canelo. You know, that shit is old news. You gotta do something more than that with Canelo, and that means you're gonna have to do some track meets. You're gonna have to circle wide. You're gonna have to do some wide ass pivots to make Canelo chase you down, burn him down. When you get him in a clinch, you're gonna have to put all your weight down on him, like you did with Anthony Yarde. You're gonna put all your weight down on Canelo in the clinch. Good luck on that. You may do it once, but you ain't gonna do it twice. You know, you're gonna have to stiff arm him and try and push him down as he's getting to the inside. That kind of shit you're gonna have to do. And if the referee allows you to get by with it, you do it all night. You know, that's the shit he's gonna have to do. He's gonna have to rough him up. He's gonna have to physically rough him up on the inside. I don't know how strong he is. If Canelo's stronger than him, he's gonna have a big problem. If Canelo is physically stronger than him on the inside, he gonna have a hard night. But you know, that's the case with Canelo versus Kovalev. So, like I said before, it's not that I'm rating Canelo bigger than he really is. This is just what he is. You look at Canelo versus Danny Jacobs, go watch that fucking fight. You will understand what I'm saying. Okay? People talk about you a huge Canelo fan. I'm not a huge Canelo fan. If I was a huge Canelo fan, I would not be applauding this. I would be applauding this fight. I would be saying Canelo's going up 2 weight classes. You know, that's so true. This is a great chest for Canelo. It is not a great chest for Canelo. Okay? It is not. It's a shit fight. This fight should not have happened. This fight should not have happened. Canelo should have been facing Demetrius Andrade. And I'm just like a fucking Dante's Boxing Nation and like a Key TV. I believe that Canelo avoided facing Demetrius Andrade and took this big ass fight, and I do not like that. I don't like it. You was just supposed to fight the WBO champion and unify. All of a sudden, you're trying to fight everybody else. I thought you wanted to unify the division. I thought you wanted to become undisputed. Okay. I do not like that he became franchise champion to avoid Jamal Charlo. Yes, I think he beats Jamal Charlo, but why do you have to avoid your mandatory? And this is the kind of shit that I don't like. Okay? And I criticize Canelo for it. So don't tell me I'm some big Canelo fan just to defend some shit fight. This is a shit ass fight. It's an ass shit fight. It's an ass fight. All right? Kovalev weak to the body. Canelo gonna get to the body. He gonna stop his ass. All right? I'm tired saying it over and over again, you know, and people can say what they want. At the end of the day, it is what it is. It is what it is, and I'm tired of saying it. Okay? You know, when it happens and you guys say, you know, he stopped into the body. I'm like, fuck, so don't praise him for that shit. Don't praise him for that shit. All right? He should be facing Demetrius Andrade. Okay, went up 2 weight classes to go face a guy at 175 who he knew was vulnerable to the body. Okay, to pick up that belt, right, when he should have faced Demetrius Andrade. Let's be real. Okay, yeah, he faced Danny Jacobs. Yes, he faced Triple G. Yes, he faced Miguel Cotto. Give him mad props for that. Yes, I said after he faced Danny Jacobs, he didn't have to face no Demetrius Andrade. He didn't have to face no other middleweight. I know I said that. But then he said that he wanted to pick up all the belts. He said that. And then he was ducking and dodging. And I don't want to hear no shit from DAZN because the highest subscription, the highest viewership that DAZN has had so far has been Canelo versus Danny Jacobs this year. Okay, last year was Canelo versus GGG happened on HBO. So, and closed down HBO because their love of their life, GGG lost. He lost. Fuck out of here. He didn't win no fucking fight. He didn't win the second and he didn't win the first. He lost. Okay? Fuck what y'all say. And I ain't no fucking Canelo fan. And the flack that y'all giving for the judge who had it 9-3 for Canelo, the first fight, fuck out of here. It was 9-3. All right? It was 9-3. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Canelo beat Triple G the first fight. Okay? He beat him. Triple G was hitting nothing but fucking air. Okay? Canelo's the one that was landing his combinations to the body. Okay? Triple G came out there looking like a motherfucking Rocky from the movie. Face all puffy and shit. Canelo face clean. Okay? So stop with the bullshit. Stop with the bullshit. Y'all don't like Canelo, right? That's why all y'all in the business too, you're jealous of the motherfucker. Okay? I'll give you this. And I'm not, see, I'm a real one. I give you that some of the Georgia scorecards for Canelo versus other opponents is whack as fuck. Okay? It's whack as fuck. But don't get it twisted. Canelo be winning them fights. Okay? The Trout scorecards was shitty as fuck. The scorecards for Lara, that one scorecard, 117, 111 or some shit like that was whack as fuck. Okay? The Triple G scorecard, the first fight was not whack. The second scorecard was not whack. Danny Jacobs scorecard was not whack. Okay? The Mayweather scorecard with 114 was whack as fuck. Okay? CJ Ross. So yeah, he has been getting these weird ass scorecards, that wide ass scorecards, and you wonder what the fuck is going on. It's a Golden Boy, is Oscar De La Hoya fucking up Canelo's career by getting these whack ass scorecards in there. That's all I gotta say. But in terms of Canelo losing fights, I don't see it. I don't see what people say. There are a lot of haters out here right now. They calling him Canelo. He got caught using clenbuterol. Okay, it is what it is. I'm not gonna make no excuses for it. He has not been caught using clenbuterol since then. All right, and if he goes for his entire career using VADA testing or year-round testing, he keeps on being year-round tested, and he's not found dirty of any drugs, then we gotta look back at it and say, you know what, this motherfucker might have been telling us the truth. All right, and the fact that he's angry with Triple G, because Canelo always represented the face of clean boxing, and he always had been. He was USADA tested, and then the WBC took on VADA, and he started getting tested year round with VADA. So the same company that tested Timothy Bradley tested Nolito Donaire, and if this motherfucker he being tested and he's coming out clean all the time with VADA, then y'all gotta turn around and say, hey, this stuff that y'all saying is real hating ass shit. Okay, but as it is, I'm not gonna defend him. Not in that respect. I cannot defend him for getting caught using clenbuterol. You're responsible for what goes into your body, and the fact that you even had, I don't care if it was traces, you had clenbuterol in your body means that you considered a dirty fighter, and that's what it is. Okay, it is what it is. Now, if he turns up, like I said, for the rest of his career, he's not found dirty at all ever again. And let me just say this. Let me put a caveat in it. Just because you ain't caught don't mean you ain't doing some shit. Okay, but let me just continue with this by saying, if he comes out to be seen as somebody who being tested year fucking round, okay, you're being tested every single fucking year, all year round, in and out of the season, and you come up clean, you coming up clean, then okay, I take it that incident that happened back in the past, either you were set up, because we all know that Spawn, who was supposed to face, he was supposed to, not Spawn, Spawn, who was supposed to face Usyk, they set his ass up. All right, he had one sample was dirty, and then it turned out that it was actually a clean sample when the B sample was done. That it was a contamination, and VADA has these problems with contamination. They happened with Andre Berto. Just recently there, Nate Diaz with USADA. USADA had a dirty sample, and they realized it was contamination, and they had to apologize to him, and this shit happens. I know with Brandon Rios, this shit happened too to him. So, and then unfortunately, you get this negative stigma on you. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes that happens. So let's see if that's the case with Canelo. If he really was eating tainted meat and he fucked up on that, and that was his problem, and hopefully he knows as an athlete to be careful what he puts into his body. Make sure that it's the right things he's putting into his body so that he doesn't get contamination. Because as an athlete, it's a different life. It's just a fucking different life. I can eat whatever the fuck I want, and if there's traces of some sort of steroid or some sort of contaminant or PD in it, it don't matter. And it could be a health product. It could have traces of the shit in it. With these guys, they have to be careful what they eat straight through. The nutritionist, the person who's preparing the meals, they can't fuck around. They can't just go somewhere and say they're going to some restaurant or some shit and dine and eat. You just never know what the fuck you eat. So they have to be careful about that shit. And Canelo have to be careful what he eats year round, because he's an athlete. And his boxing career still got a good 7-8 years in it. So, I mean, he hasn't taken a lot of punishment. He's been in a hell of a lot of fights, but he's not taking a lot of punishment. So he can go for a very long time in this sport, because he got defense. Canelo got fucking defense. And as for people saying Canelo's not pound for pound number one because he's a cheater and all that shit, listen. If you're gonna say that shit, then guess what? You gotta look at Pernell Whitaker and say he was never pound for pound number one, okay? Because he was using cocaine. You gotta look at Sugar Ray Leonard and say he wasn't the greatest of his era because he was using cocaine. So which is it gonna be, motherfucker? Which one is it gonna be? Which is it gonna be, motherfucker? Okay? Manny Pacquiao was pound for pound number one. People suspect him of using PEDs. So he wasn't pound for pound number one then. All right, people suspect Floyd Mayweather using PEDs. And let me just say, I believe that Floyd and Pacquiao was using PEDs, not in the traditional sense of the word, but performance-enhancing drugs. They're not banned or unlisted, but there's some shit they're using. Every elite fighter is using something to be on that elite level. They did not just doing it off of, Paulie Malignaggi was one of those guys who, he was naive and believed. No, every one of those motherfuckers using something. It might not be illegal. It may not be banned, but they're using something. Okay? It's what it is. Um, and that's why Victor Conte is doing so well right now with the snack program, because he's using things which are legal, but they are performance enhancing drugs. This is what they are. Okay, they may be natural shit, but they performance enhancing drugs. That's what they are. Okay, they're not illegal to the sport, but they make you hit harder, they make you stronger, they make you tougher. Okay, so whatever you want to say, they may be legit, they may not be that damaging as the synthetic drugs, and some of them may be even synthetic drugs. But Victor Conte figured out a way to do it in a legal sort of way with supplements and shit. He found a way. And that's what they are. And he's selling them. And he's telling you enhance your performance. That's what they call it, performance enhancing drugs, PEDs. Okay, but they're illegal PEDs that you're not supposed to be using. But at the end of the day, this is what they are. Okay, so to people who be talking, you have to use something. You have to use something to enhance your performance. Okay, it's just what it is. Not at this elite level. You got to be taking something. Whether you call them supplements, whatever you call them. Okay. Having said that, though, they're safer. I believe they're safer to use. They don't have the kind of repercussions of, like, say, for instance, anabolic steroids or, HGH and all them kind of things that affect your hormones and shit. But at the same time, don't get it twisted. They are performance enhancing drugs. Okay. So, and not all performance enhancing drugs are bad. Okay. All right. Anyways, back to what I was saying. It's almost 1 o'clock in the day, and so I wanna get out of here and do something useful with my time. But in the meantime, I hope that you guys have a good one. Those are the opponents I think give Canelo problems, even possibly beat him. But out of all the other guys, rack them up, stack them up, knock them down, baby. Canelo beats them, right? And it's gonna be hard to beat Canelo in this era. He got the most experience out of all the people there. He's probably never gonna face Pacquiao, so he's the most experienced fighter out of all this new grappling fighters. Okay, Kovalev is the only other guy that has experience on Canelo's level, and I say Canelo dusts him. He dusts him. He gets him out of there. He gonna knock him out, right? Canelo's not going for the knockout, but if you just keep doing what he's doing, beating Canelo, he gonna knock him out. Okay. And for all those people say, well, Canelo doesn't have that punching power, he won't knock out, he's knocking him the fuck out, okay? Y'all stop with the bullshit, okay? This is not a fight where this goes the distance. This is not a fight where Kovalev gets lucky and lands on Canelo. None of that shit's gonna happen, okay? The shit that's gonna happen is what Canelo always do. He's gonna do what he always do. He's gonna get to the body, he's gonna dig to the body, he's gonna work the body, he's gonna work on top. He's gonna get on the inside, he's gonna work in the mid-range, he's gonna work over up. You're going to do what Canelo does, and eventually Kovalev's going to succumb to it. Okay? It's just what it is. It's just what listen, people. You don't have to be a great Canelo fan to see this. Even if you're not a Canelo fan, it's going to happen, right? It just boxing is simple boxing. Okay? I hate having to say it 100 million times because a lot of y'all feel really that this is some kind of 50-50 fight or some kind of, I don't know what the fuck y'all think it is. Okay? Bob Arum understands what it is. Bob Arum knows. This fight, the fight's a it's a mismatch. It's a mismatch. It's a mismatch. All right, and it's a mismatch not because Kovalev's not a good boxer. It's a mismatch because Kovalev does not have the capacity to fight on the inside. This is the problem with it. That's what makes it a mismatch. Okay, and people are like, can Canelo make it to the inside? But fuck, motherfucker, has he ever not made it to the inside? Okay, has he not made it to the inside against Triple G? Even in the first fight, did he not make it to the inside against Triple G? Did he not make it to the inside on Erislandy Lara? Did he not make it to the inside on Danny Jacobs? Did he not make it to the inside on Miguel Cotto? Did he not make it to the inside on what the fuck are y'all talking about? Will he make it to the inside? What the fuck does that mean? Oh, Kovalev got a good jab. Like everybody who I'm talking about has a good jab. What does that mean? Like, come on, man. Shit. It's not if he gonna make it to the inside. It's when he makes it to the inside. What's gonna happen? That's what we want to know. And they say, well, we don't know if Canelo got the power to drop. Motherfucker, accumulation of punishment. He could hit like a flea. Okay, he could hit like a flea. It's called accumulation of punishment. What do you think it is? What do you think it is? Canelo's not a one-punch knockout artist. He's never been. Okay? What does Canelo do to opponents? He breaks them down. Don't let the Kirkin fight fool you. Don't let the Amir Khan fight fool you. Canelo was working the body on those guys. Okay? He broke them down. He broke down Kirkland early. He broke down Khan because Khan's smaller. Okay? He took out Liam Smith with a body punch. Okay? They were going for a while. You know, Canelo keep on landing his body shots. And then boom, he hit him with the perfect body shot, and Liam Smith went down. That was that. Okay? So let's just stop with the bullshit. Stop with the bullshit. This fight is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. Okay? Canelo's gonna land his body punches. Okay? If you're not, physically well conditioned, and they're gonna try all kinds of shit with Kovalev to make sure his body in order. But he just don't have it. He just don't have it. They're gonna y'all talking about Canelo with steroids. Kovalev might be pumped with steroids. He may be pumped with PEDs. It ain't gonna do shit for him because Canelo gonna work his body. He gonna work his body. Gonna work his body until they get him out of there. All right, we know he gonna beat that body like a drum, man. Come on now. Boxing Monster says the only one that gives Canelo problems is Thanos. That's funny as fuck, man. No, there are a couple of boxers out there that are gonna give him some problems. They're gonna give him some work problems. They're gonna give him the work. Definitely. He's not like, again, I'm not one of those unrealistic people. I'm telling y'all matchups that make sense. Bitter BF gonna give him a hell of a lot of problems, and Canelo gonna have to box real smart against him, and Bitter BF is a tough challenge for Canelo. Okay, the only problem with Bitter BF is he's slow as fuck, and that don't work in his favor, right? The guy that gives him the most problems at light heavyweight, I think, is Battle Jack. His style is just perfect for Canelo to get beat by, okay? Because Battle Jack is physically strong, and he works the inside, okay? Canelo's an inside fighter, but I'm pretty sure he's not as strong as Battle Jack. So that's where that fight gets interesting. And then at 168, we talking about Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant. They give him a lot of problems. And he's going to have to rely on his experience to try and beat them. They do. Let me tell you, those are 50-50 fights in my opinion. Battle Jack's a 50-50 fight. And Battle Jack got that experience too. He got that experience at the championship level. So, I mean, if you're going to talk about Battle Jack, he not no mean mug. Even against Marcus Brown, I thought he was winning that fight. Even with all the blood and shit, I thought he was winning the fight. Battle Jack is a bad motherfucker. Y'all need to respect this dude. He got great inside game, and I would love to see him against Canelo. Battle Jack versus Canelo. Caleb Plant got fucking good skills. Caleb Plant ain't no joke. The only thing Kovalev pumped with is vodka, not pee. Vodka, baby. Woo! You gotta love that Russian vodka. Man, Kovalev is a trip. That motherfucker a trip. But I realize he's a self-made guy, and I understand why he didn't always take David Jackson's advice. He didn't really believe in John David Jackson like that. So I kind of get it now. But if you're talking about guys that could beat Canelo, you're talking about them kind of dudes. Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, Demetrius Andrade, Derevyanchenko, Battle Jack, them dudes. Battle Jack, he got a vagina forehead. He done. He couldn't beat Brown. I argue he beat Brown with all that blood and shit. Marcus Brown, Battle Jack was doing the better work. Marcus Brown, he lucky, man. Jean Pascal would have knocked him senseless. That fight went on further. Marcus Brown ain't all that. He's not all that, in my opinion. He's a good fighter, but he ain't all that. And I thought Battle Jack was beating his ass until they clashed their heads. And his nasty ass Marcus Brown that gave him that gash in his head too. So, what goes around comes around. You know what I mean? Because it didn't come from a punch. You know what I'm saying? And Battle Jack fought through all that shit. I was still mugging that motherfucker to the body. But y'all wasn't paying attention. So y'all say, oh, he outboxed him and he beat him. Okay, whatever. Whatever, man. It's all good, though. I'm telling you, man, Battle Jack is real goods. And he could beat Canelo. Definitely. 100%. And I think that Caleb Plant and Billy Joe Saunders and Demetrius Andrade, they got good shots at beating Canelo. And Battle Jack, he got stripped of the WBA title. Bivol got Battle Jack's title. Battle Jack should be facing Dimitri Bivol. That's who he should be facing. I would love to see that fight too. That's a good ass fight. So that's what I got to say for now. Battle Jack is absolutely not done. I don't know what the fuck you talking about though. Boxing Monster says, I don't think Plant beats Benavidez. Okay, then make the fight happen so we can see it. So what is he going to do versus Canelo? You gotta be all right. Let's see Caleb Plant versus Benavidez first. Let's see it first. Y'all are really hyping up this Benavidez kid, man. Motherfucker don't got no fucking inside game, but he got outboxed by Anthony Durrell till Anthony Durrell decided to poke his head out and get his eye busted. Stupid ass, trying to clown the dude. He was outboxing him. It's all good though. Let's see David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. Well, we'll see which one of us is right. And when after Caleb Plant beats him and outboxes him and everything, and outworks him and everything, when Caleb Plant's finished with him, then I want to see Caleb Plant versus Canelo. Because by then, Caleb Plant will be unified champion. I don't know who wins between Caleb Plant and Billy Joe Saunders, and I don't know who wins between Demetrius Andrade and Billy Joe Saunders. Benavidez has cool sunglasses during his interviews. I don't know. See, people think I'm telling you the real guys who can deal with Canelo. Okay, I'm telling you the guys who got the skills to handle a Canelo. They may not have the experience, but they got the skills to handle a Canelo, and they make the fight. Those are interesting fights to me. You know, Benavidez versus Canelo. I mean, I wish David Benavidez is the best. I just don't think he beats Canelo. I just don't think he beats Canelo. And these guys, they think because they're so much bigger than Canelo, they can beat Canelo. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. He trick you, you know. So ask Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs thought he was slow. He said, man, I don't know. I was slow and lethargic. No, he wasn't slow and lethargic. Canelo was quick. That's what's happening. And he catch you on the offbeat. It's all about timing and rhythm and all that shit. And Canelo got all that shit down pat. You know. So anyway, but you know, we'll see what happens with Canelo versus Kovalev, and then we move on to see what Canelo does later on in his career. But what I'm gonna say is, those guys, in my opinion, are the tougher fights and tougher challenges for Canelo. I would have loved to see Demetrius Andrade versus Canelo, because I know Andrade, you know, if he realizes that, you know, he can't do certain things against Canelo, he got a plethora of skills. He can resort to other things. If this don't work, then I'm gonna do this, you know. So, you know, Danny Jacobs did the same thing, but I think that Danny Jacobs started really equalizing things and started making the fight interesting down the stretch, you know, but he had to play catch up. Canelo was way ahead in that fight at that point in time. And even when he was kind of doing catch up and was landing some nice flush shots on Canelo, 1 or 2 punches at a time, Canelo took the punches very well. And then on top of that, Canelo was still using his defense and still right up in the pocket there with him doing his thing. So even though Danny Jacobs physically was stronger and was pushing Canelo back, Canelo was still counter punching him and doing all kinds of shit. That was really cool. That's probably Canelo versus Jacobs was one of Canelo's best performances to date. That's one of his best performances to date. I really liked it. You could see he was the smaller guy in there when Jacobs started really imposing his size and stuff. But even then, Canelo was still catching and shooting and, you know, just counter punching like a motherfucker. It was beautiful to watch. And watch Jacobs roll some of them punches, you know. It was just beautiful. I mean, you can watch Danny Jacobs versus Canelo a couple times because both guys got skill. And you can see where Canelo will be throwing certain punches, Jacobs roll it. Then it's not like Canelo landing, you know, he's landing combinations on Jacobs. He's not getting that opportunity. It's like one shot at a time. He gets some shots in clean on Jacobs. You know, he edge out Jacobs, you know, here and there. The guy's just a beautiful skill. Jacobs got a lot of skill himself. A beautiful fight. It was a beautiful fight. And, you know, I would love to see what he could do against Demetrius Andrade. I don't think that Demetrius Andrade is as seasoned as Danny Jacobs, as skilled as Danny Jacobs in certain respects. But I do think that Demetrius Andrade, being a sharpshooter and stuff, you know, he would put on a pretty good performance, even though he would realize that Canelo's, you know, according to Zab Judah, you know, Canelo's defense is impregnable. You know what I'm saying? You know, his offense is varied. You know what I'm saying? He gonna learn. You know, it'd be a chess match. It'd be about who could land a shot here, a shot there. You know, who could pop shot better. You know, it'd be a highly contested fight, but it'd be a good ass fight at the end of the day, where, you know, you see guys using different styles and different techniques and different skills to do it. So you know, It would be beautiful. I mean, it would be it wouldn't be a dominant fight. I think Canelo would get the nod over Demetrius Andrade, just based on what he knows to do. And Demetrius Andrade doesn't know how to do. I think it'd be a good learning experience for Demetrius Andrade. Jamal Charlo a little bit more straightforward, a little bit more to everything for Jamal Charlo's strength and force, and not the subtleties of boxing. So I would see Jamal Charlo getting, tagged up at certain points, because he'd be open for certain shots. So he get tagged to the head, like how Korobov was landing those hooks to his head and stuff. Canelo be landing them hooks to the head, and then he step around him, and he just kind of dig to the body, and then he would step around him and just kind of be a step ahead of Charlo all the time. But when it comes to like Demetrius Andrade, it'll be a beautiful chess match. Billy Joe Saunders, same thing, except that Billy Joe Saunders, I think Demetrius Andrade is more aggressive. Billy Joe Saunders is more of a counterpuncher kind of dude. And I think Canelo would actually have it much more easier with Billy Joe Saunders because of his defense. So when Billy Joe Saunders tried to counter Canelo, he just kind of hit more gloves and hands and ear. And the beautiful pocket work that Canelo does. It would be interesting to see how he would catch. But like I say, I still think that those fights would be 50-50 fights, because of the skill of the guys. The guys, it's not going to be easy to catch either guy to catch each other with a clean punch, and that's what makes that kind of level of fighting, something that is worth to see, because they're gonna miss a lot, and they're gonna block a lot of shots, they're gonna roll a lot of shots, and the shit gonna look really great. I always thought that Canelo versus Jacob was a fucking good fight, and I need to go back and watch it again, because that was some high level chess played by two of the best middleweights in the division, and unfortunately Jacobs moved up. But I gotta say, it was beautiful. It was beautiful watching that fight, and it to this day the zone's best viewership. So I don't think Jacobs ever thought he won that fight. I think he knew he lost, but that was a good ass fight. The other fight that so these are the kinds of fights you're talking about. This is the kind of level or caliber of fighter that Canelo is. And for Kovalev to think that he can just step in there, as a fly-by-night, come back with some old stuff that he do since the amateurs, pull that back, and think that somehow he going to be able to deal with a seasoned guy who's been doing this for like years, 14 years. I mean, with defense that is just like Mayweather-like defense, motherfucker got to be Buddy McGirt and him got to be delusional. I'm just letting y'all know now. I'm just talking. I'm being honest with you guys. Listen, it's not that I'm a Canelo fan or anything like that. It's just that we just talking reality. Like, y'all hyping this fucking shit up as if Kovalev got, this 50-50 chance. Kovalev got 50-50 because of his size and his jab and the shit like that. No, motherfucker. He don't have that kind of chance in this fight. Anyway, y'all gonna see for yourself. Come Saturday night, y'all gonna see for yourself. Kovalev himself ain't even certain about what's gonna happen. That's why he's so humble. It's gonna be a beatdown, a savage beatdown. There's gonna be a separation of skill between Kovalev and Canelo. There's gonna be big separation, and it's inevitable. This fight's gonna end one way with a knockout. I'm very confident about that. And no matter what people says, no matter what people will tell you, it is exactly what you think it is. It looked like a duck. It walked like a duck. It is a duck. Okay? Therefore, your initial perception of this fight, the initial thoughts that you had about this fight, no matter what people be saying, no matter what game plan they tell you, it's going to end exactly how you initially thought it was going to be. This is exactly what it is. You're going to think your mind going to waver. You're going to be like, maybe Kovalev could pull this off. Maybe he can outbox him. No. No. Oh, it's so hard. It's going to be harder than normal to get to the body of Kovalev. Yeah, maybe for somebody like Anthony Yard, who doesn't have that experience of having done that. Okay? Maybe for somebody who's not an inside fighter, maybe for somebody who got all-around game, but inside fighting is not their thing on that kind of level, okay? But when it comes to Canelo, no. I'm going to tell you another guy who would get to Kovalev's body. Badu fucking Jack, okay? Battle Jack would get to Kovalov's body. Otter BWF will get to Kovalov's body. Okay? I'm gonna break it down. Like this is not an if or but or maybe. They would get there and they would stop his ass. Okay? BWF would stop him. Battle Jack would stop him. Okay? Let's stop being beaten around the bush. Okay? Kovalov will get stopped by them two guys. Okay? And the reason is because that's what they do. They get to the inside. BWF will get hit much more than Battle Jack would. Battle Jack has very good defense. Okay? So, Kovalov, for all the talk to Buddy McGirt and the new trainer, blah, 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 that means shit. It don't mean shit. It don't mean shit. It don't mean shit. His former trainer, John David Jackson, know what it is. The other trainer knows what it is. After Kovalov, Canelo will fight Billy Joe Saunders at 168, and they will take a soft touch versus Charlo in September 2020. Maybe that's good. I hope he faced Demetrius Andre though. Canelo versus Jacobs. That fight changed in the 4th round when Canelo started making him miss with the matrix defense, and his jab hurt Jacobs. GGG couldn't hurt Jacobs, but Canelo was touching him all the time, all day, every day. Boxing Monster says, dog, is Battle Jack your cousin or something? No, it had nothing to do with that, motherfucker. Styles make fights. Styles make fights. Y'all forgot Battle Jack beat up Adonis Stevenson. Southpaw with a great left and a jab. Okay? Marcus Brown was getting his ass beat by Battle Jack until they smashed heads. And still, the motherfucker was landing punches on Marcus Brown. Y'all talking about he outboxed Battle Jack. Even though blood was going all up in his eye and all that shit and blood was everywhere, Battle motherfucking Jack still kept on pressing. Still kept on going to the inside. Okay? There was blood everywhere. And y'all was watching at the blood. He wasn't watching at the boxing. Go back and watch the fucking fight. See, the thing about me is I watch boxing. I don't watch how bloody a guy's face is. I watch boxing. Battle Jack number 5. See, y'all always say some shit. Y'all always talk shit. To me, I'm not a Battle Jack fanboy, you dumbass. Come on, man. It's Styles make fights. Styles make fights. Styles make fights. How did Battle Jack become the WBA champion? He knocked out the same guy that Kovalov knocked out, right? Nathan Cleverly. He knocked his ass out. How did he do it? Get to the inside. Work the body. Battle Jack, the same dude that beat Porky. Not Porky. What is his name? James DeGale. I think he called Porky. James DeGale. He didn't get the decision. He got a draw. He almost knocked his ass out, dropped him and broke it and bust his teeth out of his mouth and dropped him in the 12th round. But hey, it is what it is. Like I said before, hell of a boxer. Hell, he knows how to close the distance, knows how not to get touched while he's closing the distance. I'm just talking boxing. I'm not talking about, again, I don't give a damn, whether I'm a fan or not. Let me tell you another guy who would mess up Sergey Kovalov. He would just mess him up, for sure. Right? And again, BWF, Otter BWF would knock out Kovalov. Why? He'll get hit with some shots, right? But he's not getting 2 shots in a row, okay? Because he's slow, okay? So we get that. But when it comes to the angle which he comes in, the approach that he comes in with, his physical strength, on the inside, yes, he does not do a lot of work on the inside. So if you clinch him up on the inside, he's going to rough your ass up. He's physically strong, okay? But at mid-range, that motherfucker go to work. He go to work on the body, okay? Not just the straight right to the body, but you got to look at that left hook to the body as well. Mixes it up well to the head. And he also got the jab to the pit, okay? And he got good head movement enough to slip a jab, slip jabs here and there. And he got also the high guard. So that motherfucker would walk Kovalov down and grind him down, and he would get him out of there. He'd get his ass out of there. And sooner than he got Dvorak out of there. Much sooner. Okay? So, again, styles make fights, motherfucker. Styles make fights. And these dudes got skills to be able to do that. Okay, they got the skills to do it. Who in the 168-pound division could probably stop Kovalev or beat him? I don't know. I'd give that some thought. I don't know. In the 160-pound division, I don't know either. Right, but there are guys with certain skill sets that can beat Kovalev. Kovalev, all he uses is his jab. Mostly, he uses his jab. His major weapon is his jab. He does hook off the jab. He does throw body punches off the jab. You know, but his major weapon is his jab. You know, and he's a good body puncher. Don't get me wrong. Good body puncher at range. Boxing Monster. Callum Smith beats Kovalev. Nah, that style matchup favors Kovalev. Callum Smith's an outboxer. You got to think about styles. You got to think about who are the guys that can get past the jab and get on the inside. Callum Smith, he boxes on the outside. He outboxer. Now, if you're going to try and box Kovalev on the outside, that's where he reigns supreme. He does his thing. It's very rare that you're going to beat him on the outside. Elida Alvarez did not get success in knocking out Kovalev from the outside. He got it when he closed the distance and he landed those left hooks to the body. And then he was throwing right hooks to the body, so Kovalev was protecting his body. And then Elida Alvarez came over the top with a left hook and clipped him. And then he caught him over the top again with a right hook. That's what put him down. So once you start mixing up body to head, that's when Kovalev is going to start. You start to see him put away his jab. His jab don't become existence because he's trying to protect his body. He puts away his jab, and then he's vulnerable. And that's why I said once Canelo start going to the body and start working that body, Kovalev going to drop his hands to protect his body, and then you just come over the top with headshots. You catch him 2, 3, 4 times clean to the head, he going to get rocked, and then you just go to work. Body to head, body to head, body to head. Mix it up. Body, 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 head, head, body, body. And you just keep on working them. You're not burning yourself out like how Anthony Yard did going for the home run. No, you just take your time. You can do 2, 3 rounds. You can just keep doing that. Just keep doing what you're doing. You know, remind him about the body shot. So you start by giving him a reminder. Whether it's a jab to the pit, whether it's slip and go for a left hook to the body or right hook to the body, and then just keep on going. Remind him of what you did the round before, and you just continue what you're doing, and you just wear him down. Now, people will say, but it's not as easy as that. Obviously, it's not as easy as that, but when you have an expert at coming through certain lines of attack, when you know how to cut your angles properly, right? When you know when you're in position to do something, it's totally different. You know, you've done this 100 million times. You don't have to think about it. So you know where to go. You see the openings and you just go for it. You know when you have an opening. You know when you don't have an opening. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like these guys don't even have to think about what they need to do anymore. He knows Canelo's done this so many times. He knows when he can get in on the inside, when he can't. And it's not so much his speed and his quickness. It's going to be his timing. His timing's everything. He obviously going to be the quicker dude. But it's his timing that's going to make the difference. And we already know Kovalev's not going to be able to figure out his rhythm for the first 6 rounds. He's going to be trying to figure out the rhythm of Canelo, which means Canelo done already going to have an advantage over him. Okay, you got to get the rhythm to be able to land something. So what Kovalev going to be doing is just throwing that jab out there. And that's dangerous, because when you throw the jab, that means your defense is open. Once you throw a punch, your defense is now open. You see? You can be countered. And it's like when you're playing chess, you set up a certain move, but you leave a gap. You have to play a move where that gap is covered by some other power piece on the board. You see? And with Kovalev, you know, he jabs a lot. And sometimes he keeps his jab in hand extended. And yeah, he uses his shoulder to try and protect his head, but your shoulder can't protect your body. Get what I'm saying? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but when he try and pop that fucking jab off his pivot, depending on which direction he's pivoting, he leaves himself open at a certain part of his body. Let's just put it that way. You know, and the right hand ain't gonna protect you. You know, the jab off the right hand, jab right hand. It's not jab right hand is or right hand jab. You know, or even right jab uppercut, whatever. Those tools only go so far. I'm trying to explain breakdown boxing for people because I think a lot of people don't understand what I'm saying. And if I were to show it and demonstrate it, I would show you what. In fact, Eric Bradley just recently put out a video talking about infighting and how, you know, you because an infighter always gonna get access to the inside. He's always gonna get in there on you, unless you look at Alfredo Galgudo versus Arislandi Lara. Took Angulo a long time, but he dropped Lara with a right hook when Lara was hooking, and then he caught him again a second time and knocked him down, right? And what Lara got bailed out of the fight because he thumbed Angulo as he was punching him, and you know, swelled up his eye, right? But at the end of the day, like I said before, Angulo, slow ass Angulo, was able to cut the distance on Arislandi Lara. Faster, sharper fighter. If Alfredo Angulo could do that, Canelo will be the smaller guy, obviously. But he's going to be the sharper, quicker fighter. Not so much faster. You need to be quicker, right? And even if he wasn't, if his defense was on point, and his timing was good, because his timing is more important than his speed, he still get the shots off, still get that knockout on Kovalev. Because every time you throw and you make an offensive move, you leave your defense open. There's a hole in your defense. What you have to do is say, well, how am I going to cater for that? Either my footwork is going to help me and protect me, or I'm going to have something in place. So I'm defensively responsible for that. When I throw the punch, I throw it off an angle where I cannot be countered. That's the challenge that Kovalev will have. And he got to do it all night for 12 rounds, which is not going to happen. He got to keep Canelo on the outside for 12 rounds. 12 rounds. He got to keep Canelo on the outside. He got to keep Canelo on the outside for 12 rounds. Good luck on that. Good luck on that. I wish him the best of luck with that. He got heavy hands though, so that could somehow work in his favor. Heavy hands could work in his favor, but Buddy McGirt ain't saying nothing that Canelo never seen before, and Buddy McGirt knows this. He knows what they're up against. He knows one training session can't have Kovalev deal with that. What he can do is try to increase Kovalev's chances with what Kovalev has, but he knows. You know, the fact that he had to say, you got to hit him everywhere. Hit him on the body, hit him on the head, hit him everywhere. When you got to say that about Canelo, that tell you everything you need to know. That's the same thing you used to say about Floyd. Don't worry, just hit him on the arms, hit him on the shoulder, hit him on the head, hit him everywhere. That means his defense is good. And they know that, and they're acknowledging that his defense is good. That's why they say, don't go for the head. You've heard this over and over again. They talk about Floyd. They say, don't go for the head. And the reason is because Canelo is a Mexican version, sort of bigger, sloppier Mexican version of what Floyd do from mid-range to inside. He's better inside fighter than Floyd is. Turnover of his punch is better than Floyd does. But he got the same snap. He got the same approach. He got more of a Mexican style than Floyd has. In terms of not his aggression, but in terms of just how he kind of roll the punches and he, moves off the ropes and shit. But basically, he could sit in the pocket and Kovalev could throw off everything he got, all his combinations. He ain't gonna touch Canelo with one of them if Canelo don't want him to touch him. You've seen it against Gennady Golovkin. Gennady Golovkin looks slow as fuck, right? But Kovalev, I'm gonna show y'all something. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna stay right here and do it. So let's just Kovalev here, right? Orthodox stance. Kovalev like to do like this. So he's here with his jab, and he leaning off the angle, got virtual distance, and he do as if he's gonna throw the right hand and pop the jab. Alright? Now, the problem with that is motherfucker don't get his hands back into position in time. He don't come back here, and he don't come back here in time. So while he's out here doing this shit, see, if you don't have the timing of a dude, and you trying to do this shit out here, you're gonna get tagged the fuck up. Straight down the middle. Straight down the middle. Watch for it. Counter. A counter right straight down the middle. You're gonna catch him straight down the middle. Might even drop him. Like an Austin Trout kind of thing. You open. You don't realize it, you know, but you open for shit. Even though you're using virtual, I don't think you all understand what I'm saying. Even though you're using virtual distance, because you're leaning in this way, right? But if motherfucker just adjusts his angle slightly, and he creep in on you. So you're leaning in, he leaning back, right? He's leaning back, watching you, right? And you are leaning forward. Now we know you're not really here. You're really further back. But the motherfucker, he been creeping in on you, and his foot overlapped with yours, and you didn't even watching what his foot was doing. He creep in on you, so that when you thought you snapped back enough, and you came back here, right? You were here, and then you came back here. By the time you open like a motherfucker, bam, tag him. That's what happened with Austin Trout, but Austin Trout was southpaw. Canelo sneaked in on him. He sneaked in on him with his foot, and he was off at an angle, and Trout didn't realize that, and he bait Trout with the jab. He bait him with the jab, and Trout threw his jab, and Canelo just put leverage into that shit and cracked him with the right. That's how Trout got knocked down. It was a trick. You see? And Canelo got a lot of these kinds of tricks in the bag. So even when you think you far away, you know, this motherfucker will sneak in on you. I'm just giving you one example. Alright? So I'm just saying, because a lot of people just don't understand the little tricks in the boxing, in boxing, and there are a lot of tricks, boy. There are a lot of tricks. Canelo got a lot of bag of tricks. He got a lot of tricks. There's a reason why he can hang with big, strong, powerful guys he's not supposed to hang with. He got, like I said before, he got defense. He got defense, right? When you looking to throw a shot at him, you're gonna realize you missing. It's because he got defense. All right, he's got defense. He knows where to put himself in space. He knows where to put his body in space. He knows how to block certain punches and take the steam off of them at the same time. Canelo has shown you several different types of guards. Okay, but anyways, we'll see what happens on Fight Night. I mean, I'm tired of talking about this shit. So yeah, like I said before, guys who can fight on the inside, guys who and they know how to get to the inside. Guys who, even though Danny Jacobs is a hell of a fighter, though. Guys who have all-around game. I think that, like I said before, Danny Jacobs, I think he's much more skilled than Demetrius Andrade. But I think Andrade got sharper. He's sharper than Danny Jacobs, you know. But Danny Jacobs got a hell of a lot of skill. Hell of a lot of skill. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing more from Danny Jacobs. That Dimitri Pirog fight made a difference in his life, I think. In many ways. I mean, he got sick with cancer after that and all of that, but yeah, Danny Jacobs got a hell of a lot of skill. Demetrius Andrade, I love to see that fight anyway, and Billy Joe Saunders fight, I love to see that fight too, you know. But we'll see what happens with Canelo. So those are the guys I think that got the best chances of beating Canelo in those divisions as we speak right now. BWF probably got the best chance because he's so strong. But out of all of them, those are the guys I think that can beat Canelo. You know? So, but we're looking forward to seeing Canelo versus Kovalev for those of you who are watching. Also, I look forward to the other fights that are on the card. The Duno versus Duna versus forgot what his name is, and you know, the undercard too. Katie Taylor will be fighting earlier on. Estrada is going to be facing Esparza. That will be a good fight. Um, you know, there's some good fights upcoming before the end of the year. The end of the year is going to end with a bang. Anthony Joshua versus Ruiz card. That's going to be a good fight too. Good fight card. We had a number of good fights this year. We had a number of upsets this year. And since this is the year of upsets, you never know. Kovalev probably could get upset Canelo, because Canelo's going to be the favorite. So let's see if that happens. Because most people think Canelo's going to win this fight. So maybe Kovalev upsets Canelo. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I don't think so. That's just my opinion, though. All right, peoples. I was I Instagram Regis Prograis. I told him I think you won the fight 8-4. Regis Prograis afterwards was talking about how he thought he nicked the fight, but it didn't go his way. So it is what it is. But he always looking forward to rematch with Josh Taylor. He said, you know, he hopes that Josh Taylor unifies against what's the kid's name? The WBC WBO champion. He hopes he unifies with him, become undisputed, and maybe he can get a rematch with him after that. I don't know. What fight do you guys suggest Regis Prograis do? Leave it in the comment section down below, because I'm about to ride out of here again. Deuces to people. I'm out of here. Peace.